Hello everybody, this is Genjeft, and
This is Pac-Bat.
we're looking at some of the cars that have been submitted to us today for a review. And we're starting off with... the name should be in here. Oh, Puffster. Somewhere it's in there. Come on,
Yeah.
computer.
Automation doesn't tell you where you got your cars from, so I went in and I wrote down the names from the files so that we'd know whose cars we're looking at.
Yep, and I also changed the name in various areas, like up here where it was saved.
Right.
But that doesn't always load until after the car loads.
So, as you might have guessed, there's something funny happening with some of the mod fixtures.
Yep.
So we'll try to work around it as best as we can. I mean, we'll just have to...
Yeah.
We'll just have to talk about the car instead of the aesthetics.
Yeah. Oh, most of them. There's only two cars that are glitched. One car doesn't have the correct cooling, and this one just doesn't have anything other than that grill. And I just put the car through the engine.
Well.
Well, speaking of engines, let's go there first.
Oh, we don't want to start at the chassis?
We could. Usually a chassis ends up pretty standard, because there's the -15.
Right. I mean, not everybody does the -15, though, so it's worth just taking a glance.
Yeah.
Right, so monocoque, front longitudinal, double wishbone, front and rear.
Steel panels.
The worst steel body panels ever. No quality on the fixtures.
Nope.
And,
also longitudinal four-wheel drive.
4x4.
Yeah.
So, here's the thing that a lot of people got confused by.
Including me.
So, longitudinal 4x4 is basically a manual locker as a center diff. So, you stop the car, you pull a lever, and the front wheels and rear wheels turn in exactly the same speed.
Yep.
And as you can imagine, this isn't very well suited to driving on roads. So it's purely a off-road kind of thing, like spin tires.
Yeah.
For racing, what you need is a AWD system in the parlance of the game, and that doesn't unlock until 1981 because we don't have limited slip diffs until 1981.
Yeah.
So some people went with a 4x4 hoping to get four-wheel drive potential, and it's a confusion. I wish it had been cleared up earlier, but it hadn't.
Yeah.
But onwards.
It actually doesn't cost that much in terms of performance.
Okay.
It's just kind of an annoying thing to have not known about.
Yeah, but now people know.
Yep.
Hope.
And we've got ourselves a 3-liter V8.
All iron, cast iron,
Dual
flat
overhead
plane V8.
cam.
Close to square, it's a little bit short stroke.
Mm-hmm. Cast iron crank with everything else forged.
Okay, I think, here's another thing that people sometimes get confused by. There's two kinds of forged conrods in the game, and forged H-beam is high torque, forged I-beam is high RPM.
Yeah.
So this doesn't actually help with the RPM because it's the weakest link.
Well, it's still better than heavy-duty cast.
It's still better than heavy-duty cast, and it's lighter than regular cast. So there's some smoothness benefit, and that smoothness benefit can help with drivability. But that's most of what you're getting.
Yeah.
The pistons, you do also get 1 point of RON. I don't know what that works out to be in AKI, but you can get more compression if you have a forged piston head.
As opposed to
cast.
Regular cast, heavy cast. And he's also, look what he did with his variant capacity.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's going short. Okay, so, alright, apparently I was wrong. This is intentionally an extremely short-stroked engine.
Mm-hmm.
So
allows him to get higher RPMs without sacrificing too much reliability.
Yeah.
And you can tell, with that cam profile, he's revving it up there. Still only
Yeah.
6,100, but with an engine that big, still pretty high.
Yeah, yeah. Very narrow power band, but we'll look at the gearing later.
Mm-hmm. There's nothing new in that area. He's
Okay,
using
it's in a
4-barrel
four-barrel
single
car.
carb.
Race intakes. I'm impressed.
Not
Like
many people go for the
33
race
reliability
intakes.
with race intake is very good.
Well, that is a hell of a reliability for race intake. Wow.
I guess it's just that very, very short stroke.
Oh, look at the valve float that's occurring.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, don't downshift early, you'll rub the nuts off of it.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so, sorry, I'm just looking at my notes real quick. 470, 500 grams per kilowatt hour, that's kind of a typical kind of engine fuel consumption.
Mm-hmm.
It's 251 horsepower, so it's probably going to be pretty thirsty. Yeah. Well, no, it's on the thirsty
power.
end. It's not super thirsty.
Yeah, it's at peak power. It's still rather efficient.
Yeah, that's one of the nice things about DOHC is you don't get it spiking at the above the peak.
Yeah,
in the same way that you do with SOHC or especially with OHV.
Yeah.
And 4-barrels are more efficient than any of the other carburetors. They're not much more efficient than 2-barrel.
Well, I don't think they're more efficient than this.
I think they are. It's just the single barrel is much more reliable and much cheaper.
Yeah. And there's no power with the single barrel eco. Someone's using that for a race car.
You can get power with a single barrel eco, but like it's brute force power.
Yeah.
All right.
We got long tubular exhausts.
Single exhaust
for a VA.
Less weight.
Less weight though.
Yeah, this is the lightest tubular header setup that you can get.
It's only 2 kilograms more.
It's less than 2. Yeah, so it's not much less weight.
I wonder. No, he's not using it to limit the horsepower.
If you go dual exhaust, you have to go small diameter.
Yeah.
All right.
And then.
Wait a second. Let's look at the cost. Okay.
Comparing the cost with the other contenders.
Yeah. 53.4 times 17.5. Huh. This looks like it's a pretty cheap engine as well. I've got about 1,800, and yeah, that's pretty cheap as engines go, I think.
With a darn good reliability considering the area.
Yeah. So this is nice. A lot of room to spend money elsewhere.
Oh yeah.
Going very cheap on the engine.
That looks geared all right.
Yeah, I mean you're losing a little bit in at low speeds, but it's pretty reasonable gearing, and you're over 150 power from
to the wheels.
50 kilometers an hour to top speed,
which is good.
Yeah,
and you're not going to be spending that much time in second gear anyway.
Yeah. And you have tire wear, you have tire spin in first gear, but not much in second gear. So, wheel spin is not a huge issue.
Quality plus 11.
That's probably where the extra 1,000, 2,000 staved on the engine went.
Yeah.
Magnesium wheels. I know they're available, but I always feel weird about choosing them, so I don't.
Well, if you're going for lightness, which I don't know why he's going for lightness when he used steel panels back in the body. They are 10 kilograms less than the steel ones.
Well, I mean, it is less, weight in the drivetrain, which is nice for acceleration and stuff. Like, this is how much you have to spin up versus the car moving.
Yeah.
So it's nice in that respect. It probably helps acceleration. I think
It helps with drivability, too.
Oh, interesting.
It does change the graph on this, and changes the handling graph, too.
Yeah, I remember I was doing some kind of experiment with ridiculously overpowered engines, and if you have a harder rim material like steel, the tires are less liable to explode.
Hmm.
It definitely affects the tire simulation.
Like the Pax Americana car that I made one day for the, what was that contest? Back when they were running the, when you made cars and sold the car contest. What was that one? Oh, well, whatever.
I forgot to check. What's the wheel width?
Pretty standard 225 for both front and
Okay,
back.
so 225s had to go down to 12-inch rims to get that 225.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why it's the 220 millimeter brake rotors, because you can't fit in bigger.
Yeah.
Um,
And these brakes do a good enough job.
yeah.
Even though I wonder...
I noticed pushing 100 pad type on front and rear, a lot of excess rear braking, that's going to cause extra tire wear in the rear.
Yeah.
And I think you actually get better stats if you back that off.
Yeah. You'll get better handling stats back.
Like the braking distance increases a tiny bit, but I think backing off the pad type in the rear helps.
Extra 3.8 points in drivability and an extra 1.6 points in sportiness. You lose 2 inches of stopping distance and gain a good deal of brake fade in doing that.
Right, but brake fade isn't simulated in the robot.
So
I mean, it could be, but it isn't yet. So brake fade isn't as much of a concern. It just gets folded into drivability and sportiness.
Yeah. And comfort. But comfort's not important. The driver doesn't need to be comfortable. He just needs to drive. And when he starts complaining, just put duct tape over his mouth. That'll shut him up for a little while.
Plus 15. All right, then.
Wow. Well, I would explain the top speed.
Yeah, that is a good top speed. With a little bit short on cooling. That could be some kind of bug with fixtures, though.
Yeah, it could be.
So we won't worry about the cooling.
Yeah,
but
not with this car.
Top speed is good.
Would Semi-Clad do anything differently? Semi-Clad would actually increase his top
Semi-Clad is going
speed.
to reduce drag, and you can adjust. You can reduce lift as well with engineering the under tray. But yeah.
And then he went with 4 seats.
I don't know why you would do that. Maybe weight?
Maybe. And then he's got advanced 60s at 0 quality for safety.
Right, so 33 safety. I guess because...
At least he's going to be one of those cars that when they wreck, the driver survives. Mostly.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people went 0 safety even after there was the report that, safety matters. So this is a safer choice.
And he has power steering, too.
Yeah, well, power steering is a good idea. I mean, it's better drivability and it costs you in sportiness, which actually is a double win in the BRC competition.
Mm-hmm. And then plus 4 quality in suspension.
Odd handling characteristic here. This very rounded thing.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's because of this sway bar setup and spring setup. Soft in the front and hard as anything in the rear.
Could be. And look at the camber, too.
What the weight distribution is.
Weight distro is... Where the hell's weight? There we go. 58.6 and 41.4.
And yet, it is rock hard in the rear and soft in the front. That's a very interesting choice.
But it's got good turning.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the cornering is good.
I'd expect a lot of tire wear with that camber, though.
Yeah. Let me look at...
Oh, and he's using progressive.
Yeah, I mean, progressive is it's another little hack with the BRC because it increases drivability and reduces sportiness, which means fewer driver errors. Standard would make more sense, but progressive is the winning strategy. Yeah, tire wear is high. Tire wear is higher than my tire wear, and yeah, so that's a lot of tire wear.
Yeah. Well, I think it's one of the heavier cars at 1,000 kilograms,
Right.
1,006.
Yeah, it's one of the heavier cars. That also increases tire wear.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, this is a very cool car.
Mm-hmm. Can't say much about the looks because it's glitched.
Yeah. I mean, I do like the Datsun 240Z body.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's probably one of my favorite bodies. But, yeah, we can't really look at it because it's glitched.
What do we get for speed here? And come on, there we go. 220.38.
Quick.
Yep. For a heavy car.
Yeah.
And I didn't actually mean to get out like that, but
yeah,
it did.
Yeah. Right.
So let's go to Rob's car.
At Silverstone, which makes sense because high speed, and Silverstone's a high speed track, at least in 66.
Yeah. And he's got
came in 30th at Snetterton because got in a bad wreck on lap 2. Survived it, but was losing 10 seconds a lap until repairs on lap 9.
Ouch.
So, yeah, moral of the story, set your percent
Set your
beginning
repair
of the
threshold
trace very early. Like, I have it at 5% and that's late. Like, the default is 15% and that's too late.
And here we go. Now, Rob's car, which actually has all the fixtures on it.
Cool. That is such a sad looking, like, fixture thing. Like, that is just Eeyore.
The back of the car is depressed.
Yeah. It's interesting. I like that it's interesting.
I think the tactic is to make whoever's behind him depressed so they don't drive as well.
That could work. That could help.
The front end isn't very depressed, though.
No.
I don't know who's going to see those lights
behind you. Sad.
I don't see how those how anyone's going to see those blinkers, but
not from the front. No. So, yeah, that's kind of okay.
So he didn't do the minus 15.
Didn't do the minus 15. I mean, plus 6 on the chassis.
What, reliability. No. Better sportiness.
Okay. Like, I know it adds a lot of weight, and it adds a lot of price. I guess that's one of the reasons to go with McPherson's strut in the front is because that brings the cost of quality back down a bit.
Mm-hmm.
But, okay then. So this is going to be another heavy car.
Yeah, this is actually heavier than the previous one.
Right.
No quality on the fixtures. Longitudinal rear-wheel drive.
Yeah, front engine, rear-wheel drive, classic sports car setup.
Yep, V12.
Ooh.
A big one.
3-valve for cylinder, single overhead camshaft. Yeah, all aluminum. I think it's small for V12, but it's big for the competition.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Definitely racing engine.
Everything's forged from the crank to the...
Everything's forged and plus quality. This is going to be smooth.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Very square. It's a square engine, which I guess is pretty standard.
87.2 smoothness.
Yeah, that is really high.
And he didn't change in the capacity in the variants.
Yeah, just using full capacity. Cam profile of 34 is quite low.
Yep.
But still got 10.3 compression out of it. So we'll have to see what he does on the fuel and so forth.
Plus 3 quality there.
Yeah.
Nothing new there. 2-barrel triple carburetors for performance.
I like the 2-barrel. Like that's what I went with. So like, it's a good compromise in terms of cost and reliability between the single barrel, which has poor fuel economy, and the four barrel, which has better fuel economy.
Yeah.
14.0 fuel mixture it's not rich. Like, it might be rich compared to a lot of other people, but it's not rich. 59 ignition timing, that seems pretty good. Can I see the curves?
Yep.
Okay, so we're
that's a pretty flat power curve, and no reliability.
Looking at a little over 600 grams per kilowatt hour at the max power. So this is going to be a thirsty engine by my rules of thumb.
But very reliable.
Oh yeah, this is very thirsty engine. A lot of quality on these carburetors. So good reliability, 36.1.
Mm-hmm. The exhaust, just race tubular, dual, no exhaust.
Yeah.
And no quality on it.
Okay.
But look how smooth that is. Where was it? Smoothness, 87.2.
Just a second, I'm calculating out the total cost. Yeah, this almost $4,000. So
that's like halfway to the price limit right there.
Yeah. So that is a lot of money dropped into the engine.
Yeah. Now for the trim.
I like the power distribution. Like, it's very tall first gear.
Yeah.
Very tall.
Well, you never spend much time in first gear, so...
Well, I mean, on technical tracks, you do spend a significant amount of time under 100 kilometers an hour. So...
He might have increased tire wear then.
Yeah, increased tire wear there and lose a little bit of speed relative to the competition there. But, yeah, most of the time you're going to be up here, and the curve looks very nice there.
Yeah. Plus 5 quality.
Automatic locker is good. Plus 5 is good. It's not as high as some of the others. Steel wheels.
Yep. 225. And whee!
I wonder if that's some kind of mistake, because that is a bad handling characteristic. You really don't want that.
He could have made a drifter, so his entire intention is to go around the corner sideways.
Like, that would be very period correct, but, like, it doesn't
Robot doesn't simulate that.
No. No, that's not simulated.
No.
That's tricky to simulate.
Yeah, it would be. Unless we have a simulation where you can all drive your own car in the race, no, it doesn't work.
Yeah, I mean, people are working on trying to figure out how to, like, import automation cars into BeamNG Drive or something.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
I know that at one point they were importing the curves to make realistic power curves.
Yeah.
But they haven't figured out anything about importing suspension setups or anything like that.
The problem with BeamNG Drive is, from what I've seen, the handling is garbage to begin with. Cars
I know it's had a lot of improvements in the past, I forget, like year, I want to say. Like, the earlier ones, the driving was pretty garbage, but they had an update to the tire simulation, and I think Condodge actually did a video on it, and was like, yeah, this is, like, it's still weird in these ways, but it's a driving game, and it works. It's a driving sim. So it's something that they fixed. And a lot of quality spent on the brakes, and I guess that's translating to pretty good braking.
Yeah, I think he had to do that to get the front brakes up there.
Yeah, but did what I would recommend and brought the pad type down on the rear brakes. That's probably a pretty good spot for it.
Could you have brought it down further?
You could. Okay, so he didn't, and I'm not sure why. But yeah, 40 is where it was.
Probably for the stopping distance, but he's not losing much stopping distance by changing it. And
yeah, I mean, you could check. Maybe at 41, it's the same stopping distance, but worse. No? You're still stopping a little bit faster at 41.
1-inch improvement.
I know. Maybe just jumped by 10s and was like, yeah, that's good enough.
Yeah.
Probably, I mean, there's in-game engineering time, and then there's player engineering time.
Yeah. Wow!
That is...
+5 quality.
Okay,
but
so
wow.
the car is losing the tail, and losing the tail, and losing the tail, and then it just goes straight. It just snaps back to understeer.
Yeah. The tail is gone, and the next thing you know, it just snaps back to understeer, and you go straight into the wall.
That is...
On the inside of the corner.
Yeah, there's a reason why the drivability is so low.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I think it's still higher than my car's drivability.
we'll get there when we get there. All right, so plenty of cooling, lots of brake cooling, I guess. Semi-clad under tray, but not doing any downforce with it. +5 quality.
The under tray makes that worse.
Reasonably good top speed.
Yeah.
I mean, heavy car, lots of power, fairly aerodynamic.
The previous car had better top speed still. It was 240.
Yeah, but Puffster had +15 going on there. Very cheap engine and put tons of quality.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't put negative quality on the seats, which is an interesting choice.
Nope, but it is only 2 seats as opposed to 4.
Yes, that is good.
No power steering. -15 quality on, well, nothing.
Yes. The electronics are terrible, but there aren't any.
Yeah. You have a speedo and a tack. There's nothing else.
+8 standard. I'm guessing he's just going for good safety, and he got it. 34.5. So this car is going to be very, very good. Okay, so I guess it just kind of all the other graphs were wrong.
Because now this is normal.
Yeah.
This is bugged out to freaking hell.
Maybe go to the results tab and come back and see if it's weird. Still weird. Yes, it's still weird.
Yeah. We'll get the time in a second. 2.8, 80 to 120, which is good. Decent handling in the corners, and 2306 compared to 22038. And it's still bugged out. So I don't know if that's the actual graph.
I'm guessing it is. It's just, you know, like the car tends to oversteer, but the rear wheels are just sort of sliding a little bit at the point when the front wheels give up completely.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, like, I'm guessing that at that point, the car will just rotate back to face whichever direction it was going and just keep going that direction until it hits something.
Yeah.
So, it would definitely be an adventure to drive.
Give it to Grandma. Progressive gas monotube, passive sway bars with +2 quality.
Interesting. -2.9 camber in the front, -1.3 in the rear. I guess getting the front to grip.
Yeah. Look at the sway bar difference. 44 and 838.
Heavy rear sway bars are pretty popular. I'm not going to say it's because it improves the weight distribution, but it does. Slightly. Probably not enough to care about.
57.3 and 42.7.
Like I said, not enough to care about.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alright.
Next car, because we're still doing about 15 minutes a car.
And
I feel like we're going faster, but it's just going to be 15 minutes per car, everyone.
Yep. We'll do them as quick as we can. Oh, this is Air Jordan.
Yep.
It's right there. Anyway. Okay, -6. So, some kind of compromise happening there.
I don't know if his fixtures are bugged or if he just doesn't have any.
Interesting question.
Yeah.
I mean, I really like the color. Let me be honest, on this body,
Nightshade black
is nice. Just charcoal gray, gleaming. I mean, give it some pop-up headlights and tail lights, and you can put that on a showroom floor.
Oh yeah.
Aluminum, cool.
Mm-hmm.
That's the medium weight option. Fiberglass is super light, but like it's going to cost you in safety, and it's more expensive.
Yeah, production units.
Yeah. I don't know if it should be more expensive, but it is. Anyway, double wishbones front and rear.
Oops, sorry. Double wishbone front and rear.
-1 quality on the fixtures. Interesting.
Mm-hmm. Not that there's many fixtures to speak of.
Well,
It could
like
be
that
glitched.
little grill on the grill.
Yeah, and then this split
Longitudinal rear-wheel
scoops.
drive. All right.
Did the body just change on us?
That can happen.
Yeah.
I guess. I guess. I guess. I guess Air Jordan made a car with the swoop back, and then decided in the trim to change the body to the notch back.
Could be.
That's what it's called, right?
Don't ask me. It's a sport car with 2 doors to me.
Well, it's not got the fastback, is what I mean.
Yeah. Is there any more back there?
Yeah, it's a notchback.
Yeah, okay. Now the engine. What is he running?
V6.
V6.
All aluminum, DOHC, square, 2.4 liters. I like it. It's a light engine. I don't like chopping off the power curve like that.
Yeah, that's what he did.
I think that's a mistake. Like, it probably would have been better to go with a short-stroked engine that gets its power earlier and rev it a little bit higher because the stroke is shorter.
Yeah.
But it is heavier, so I mean, I can see the reasoning behind this, but I think you lose too much
It's not like
effective speed.
I don't think he's losing much reliability if he went higher. Because he's losing performance index.
I mean, you're going to be losing reliability because Conrads.
Yeah.
So it's probably losing a few points of reliability each tick, each 100 RPM. Yeah. Just looking at the graph, it's probably only about 350, 360 grams per kilowatt hour.
Yeah, so he's got an efficient engine.
Very efficient engine for its power production.
Yeah. Has +2 quality back here.
Yeah, Air Jordan's one of the most efficient engines in the competition. Most fuel efficient racers.
Mm-hmm. +7 quality on the cams and everything.
Yeah, like, again,
it's still
okay. So in that case, I probably wouldn't have done the +7 here. I probably would have spent quality elsewhere to get the power.
Yeah, particularly if he's cutting himself off.
Yeah, this gives you a lot of power, but it pushes the power to high RPM.
Yeah.
And if you're gonna cut it off, then you're kind of not doing right. High quality decos. So deco tends to be higher fuel consumption. Oh,
he might have done that as a way to limit the power.
That's sketchy. I don't like that. I'm sorry, Air Jordan. In the future, I'd recommend that you have your power peak somewhere below the red line. I think you just get better performance that way.
Yeah, it does.
Like, less power can get you better performance if you have some over rev.
Yeah, because every car I've ever made that cuts itself off like this runs slower than the equivalent car that has a lower power engine but doesn't cut itself off.
My experience has been similar. I mean,
but look at his fuel mixture, very lean, with high ignition timing, and +7 quality here.
Yeah, I mean, like it's not that it's bad. I think it's just I think there's just a lot of things. Like, I would have cranked up the RPM limit. I would have put performance intakes on to get some more reliability back. And I would have taken some quality off of the valves, because it's not going to cost you much reliability. Like, look at those valves. They're still green at 7,000 RPM.
Yeah.
All right.
What's hurting is the...
what's hurting is the Conrad.
Yeah.
So, race 6100, I think it was.
Yeah. This engine could be a lot better.
Yeah. I mean, let's look how much it costs. Minus
Single
one?
exhaust, -1.
Okay.
That's actually reasonable. I've gotten better times with negative quality on the exhaust.
Sure. All right. Okay, so we're looking at 1750. We're looking at about $3,000 engine. That's pretty standard.
Yeah.
It's on the cheap end. I think a lot of people spent approaching $4,000 on the engine. But yeah, that's fairly standard.
Didn't the previous guy spend $4,000 in the what the frick am I looking at?
What you're looking at is somebody who doesn't over-rev their engine. I mean, there's nothing you can do. It's going to look like that.
Yeah, that is.
I mean, this is an engine where if you don't have to upshift, you don't upshift.
Yeah.
Like you're probably like under a lot of circumstances, you're just going to be bouncing it off the limiter because it's better that way.
Yeah. But
like
at least with this engine, if you bounce it off the limiter, you're not doing any damage to it.
Yeah. I mean, if it weren't for the fact that the judges would disqualify you, if I were driving this car, I would take off the limiter. And I would rev it a few hundred RPM past the limiter in the race, and the engine would probably explode, and I would get fired.
Oh, no, you'd be fine, because I brought it up to 7,000, it still runs.
Yeah. I mean, the engine might explode. If the engine doesn't explode, then I'd win a lot of races. But if the engine does explode, then I would be fired.
I don't think you'd run into a problem until you hit like 7,500.
Probably. I mean, you were getting down to around 220 reliability, which is danger zone.
Yeah.
+9 is good.
Yep.
All right.
And automatic locker, pretty standard.
215 in the front.
Drivability? Yeah. Drivability.
Yeah. I mean, yeah,
it's a
way to get drivability. It's going to cost you braking distance, but...
Yeah.
I mean, like a foot.
Not a heck of a lot. 5 inches. Cost him 5 inches.
No, 1 foot and 5 inches. So 7.
Oh, I didn't see the one. Yeah, you're right. I didn't see the one change for some reason.
Okay, so...
Yeah, the back brakes...
It does look like he's going for maximum braking. I say he, I assume.
Yeah. The back brakes are smaller than they could be.
Yeah, but, you know, at pad type 1, this was Air Jordan bringing down the total braking in the rear. I think their goal was to have it cross at the same point on front and rear so that the braking was almost equal relative to the grip on front and rear.
Yeah.
Which, from a roll play perspective, makes sense.
Yeah. Handling would be more predictable.
Yeah.
Perhaps. Semi-clad with 100% downforce.
Right, so that's countering some of the lift.
No brakes no cooling for the brakes, but just perfect cooling for the engine, just about.
Yeah.
+7.
Yep. 4 seats again.
Yeah.
Premium.
Premium -15 quality. Isn't that expensive?
It's $200 instead of $50.
It improves drivability, so I guess a comfortable driver is a good driver.
I mean, if I were writing automation, I would have a drivability and sporty. I'd have a drivability and sportiness boost for the sport interior on the theory that bucket seats.
Yeah.
But, I mean,
I wish we had handmade sport.
Well,
so it wasn't made for luxury, but made for racing. But that might be a suggestion for a later update or something.
Yeah. Well, I mean, people have talked about, like, you know how higher quality carbon fiber is lighter? People have talked about higher quality sport being lighter.
Yeah.
As an idea.
And no safety.
So, safety is pretty wretched. I'm gonna go ahead and give you a little spoiler. Part of this is luck, of course, but Air Jordan didn't finish either race so far.
What do you mean he didn't finish? Did his engine explode? Because that would surprise me.
DNF, well, from crashes.
Okay, crashes.
Yeah.
Which is kind of remarkable considering that drivability. Someone's hitting him.
Well, in the first race, he crashed into somebody. In the second race, somebody crashed into him. I mean, yeah, he's got good drivability, but you can still get in an accident.
Yeah, it's not saving him.
It's the random number generator is harsh and unfair. But it always seems unfair.
Someone didn't sacrifice enough goats to the RNG gods.
Yeah. Okay,
Standard gas monotube, passive sway bars, because there's a lot of choices for sway bars.
Yeah.
Plus 4 quality.
Pretty average, pretty middle camber, pretty average tire wear. I guess it's a heavy car, and it's got a little bit of understeer and stuff.
These kind of look like default settings, like you just hit race or something and said, "Oh, good enough," and kept going.
It's not a bad option if you haven't got a lot of practice tuning the suspension. Like, it's probably going... Like, I start with race and then adjust it till I'm happy.
Yeah.
But, like, maybe this person just didn't adjust as much. I do like the notchback. I don't think most people are going to go for that. I'm guessing it doesn't have as good a top speed, but I don't know if they model that.
No, this is glitched.
Yeah, okay, so something's funky here.
Yeah.
Either that or we just have the wrong version of the car.
Could be.
Well,
you might have been one of the
Air Jordan, if you're watching, let us know if you see something that's messed up, and maybe we can do something about it.
2:25.74. Every car's been 2 seconds slower than the last one. Oh, except for that one.
I mean, Air Jordan was in the mid pack in both races when the DNF happened. So
yeah, this is
mid
mid-pack
leading
speed.
Cars.
This is relatively mid-pack speed.
Yeah.
Next one is Cobalt Girl.
Yes.
Who conveniently put their name in there.
Thank you.
And then mine will be next week or next time we
When getting to talk about fuel tank sizes, they're all like 40 to 50. Well, 45. Yeah. Cobalt Girl actually only has 47.4 kilograms. Anyway.
There we go. Minus 10 quality on Cobalt Girl's car.
All right.
And big V8.
Yeah, I mean, she gets stock engines and modifies them for racing.
Ah.
So this is a Chevy 283. Can I see the rear real quick? Like, it looks like the fixtures are good.
Yep.
Okay. I mean, those are kind of big, but you know, it's fine.
Yeah, they were kind of big at this time frame, I think, anyway.
Okay. Interesting having little headlights next to the exhaust, little reversing lights.
Why not?
Okay. Galvanized steel chassis.
That's new.
I think it's an unnecessary expense, but I mean, if you want to mass produce it for a consumer market, then having the infrastructure to galvanize your steel might as well.
Mm-hmm. Not
steel
set
panels.
Up for being light.
Okay, so this is going to be a mid-heavy car, I think.
Yeah.
Actually, with that engine, it's probably going to be fairly heavy.
Plus 2 quality on the light fixtures.
Yeah, I don't know if that gives a boost to aero or drivability or anything. It definitely gives a boost to reliability, and it's cheap.
Yeah. Longitudinal rear-wheel drive.
Yeah.
And
nice
I
black.
like how that dot is in the pink area, and this is clearly not a pink car. Well, if you put the... It's kind of pink when you're highlighting the body panels.
Yeah, I mean, it's
so it could be
way
black
down in the
based
black
on that
area.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's got a little bit of purple in the black.
Yeah. And what we have is a 4.6 liter V8.
An all aluminum push rod. Yeah.
Yep.
It's actually surprisingly short strokes for a push rod engine. Anyway. Forged heads, casts, cranking conrods, +5 quality, so that's where that 44 reliability comes from. That's a reliable engine.
Yeah, that is.
Not
very efficient in the high end, though.
Well, I mean, it's actually 550. That's, I mean, it's a little high, but it's not that high.
No. Low compression.
A lot of quality, but it's a push rod. Its quality is cheap here.
And you have to, or otherwise valve float's going to destroy you.
Well, yeah. Or you just go with a really huge engine.
Yeah.
Twin 4-barrel carbs with performance intake, pretty lean fuel mixture, some ignition timing, lots of quality. So yeah, this is a pretty bulletproof engine, actually.
Yep. Plus 10 quality.
Yeah.
This is an engine that's not going to break down on you.
Yeah. I mean, we're talking about production cars here. Won't you? This like put a muffler on it, and you have a production car.
Oh, it's the 60s. You don't have to put a muffler on it.
Okay. I mean,
at least not
put a glass back on it then.
Hmm?
A glass back?
Glass
a thing on the muffler, a thing on the exhaust to make it louder instead of quieter?
Yeah, there you go. That'll certainly sell with the hot rodders. And +1 quality on the exhaust. There's a lot of quality in this engine.
Yeah.
How much does it cost, though?
Engine looks like 45-ish? 44-ish.
44-ish. Look at the economy. It's almost 20%.
Yeah, I mean, well, economy is measured at low RPMs, and this isn't a very high revving engine. So
yeah,
it gets to look at the economy. So
that's still impressive to almost hit 20%.
Yeah.
Regardless of whether that's where you're actually at in the race, that's still kind of impressive.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to take this car and go sell it to consumers, then they can actually get a decent fuel economy out of it, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. All right. Oh, no, 11.73 isn't bad. All right. Okay, so...
Good balance between drivability and sportiness.
Yeah.
Decent looking transmission.
Still had enough money to get a +7 here. Automatic locker.
Yep.
Not bad. Looks like second gear. It looks like first gear you're spinning, and then second gear you have grip.
Yeah.
Which is nice and simple, easy for the driver to remember. Feather it in first. 225s front and rear with some offset.
Yep.
Steel rims.
Good handling graph right there.
Yeah.
2
Brakes.
pistons and then drums.
Well, interesting. But the drums are good enough.
Yeah. And that doesn't surprise me because I think it was rather common to still use drums in the rear until the 90s.
Yeah, I mean, even modern cars have... There's a small drum attached to the disc for the parking brake.
Yeah. Which,
I mean, if you have a car where most of the weight is in the front, then you don't need much braking in the rear, and you might as well just have the drum and not bother with a disc.
Yeah. Of course, the annoying thing with drum parking brakes is they are guaranteed to break.
I mean, +7 quality, these probably won't.
Yeah. These will be good.
Yeah. I mean, like, you could probably, with minor alterations, make this a really nice production car for the consumer market. I mean, it's already great for the truck premium.
Yeah, I don't even really think there needs to be any modifications.
All right, a little bit of downforce from the under tray.
Yep.
Plenty of cooling and a whisper of brake cooling.
Yep. Undercooled a little tiny bit.
Yeah, engine's so reliable that I'm not even going to sweat it.
Yep.
+15 quality in the aero. So really wanted to make this car
fast.
And 235 is fast.
Yeah. The other one, the fastest we've seen is 240.
Yeah.
So 235.
And that
is
might have
almost
been
there.
bugged.
Yeah.
Interesting handling characteristics at speed, but, you know, not as interesting as that other one.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Two-seater, basic, minus 15. So that might be the modification you want to make this...
yeah, you put in the rear seats, and you give them decent seats, like premium or standard.
Yeah. Power steering with minus 8.
Interesting.
And standard safety with minus 1.
Right, because 26.6, you don't need a ton of safety. It just, like, you're gaining crashworthiness is what you're gaining.
Yeah. Progressive gas monotube passive with decent
Fair
camber.
hard suspension, very heavy rear sway bar, medium to high camber.
It does get heavier.
Yeah. I mean, I forget what the top is, but it's a lot.
You just stick an I-beam back there.
Yeah. So
And
that's pretty sporty suspension, and it's probably good for tire wear as well as performance.
heavy, but not the heaviest.
Yeah, it's just under 1,000 kilograms. That's the normal kind of heavy.
Yeah.
I'm a little on the heavy side of heavy at 1,100. So, yeah, this is a top speed car, and that's what it's for.
Well, how is this turning? It's
good.
good at both points.
Yeah. And good braking distance.
Yeah. A good all-around car.
Yeah, is running definitely in the points in both races. Was 20th at Silverstone and 12th at Snetterton.
Mm-hmm.
How fast is it here?
There we go. And 221.72.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Okay. And that is the fourth car for this hour.
yeah.
I've got to get ready to go to school, so next time we'll pick up with my car, and we'll finish with Maddie's car.
Probably.
That's the plan. And
That's
I'll
the
probably
plan.
record that on Monday, and I'll release it at some point next week. This will
Okay.
probably be released over the weekend.
Okie dokie.
Okay. Hope you all are enjoying. See you later, and if you want to send your car and you haven't yet, go ahead, send it to both me and PackBat.